All right, burgeoning viewers, one quick note for you. A subscriber a day in October. If we hit 31 subscribers in 31 days, one lucky subscriber will walk away with the entire Modern Horizons art card series. Additionally, a comment a day. Any subscriber that leaves a comment in every video posted by MTG Burgeoning during the month of October will become eligible for the November Pack Wars. On November 1st, a list of all subscribers that left a comment on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of October will be compiled, and from this list, one subscriber will be randomly chosen to participate in the November Pack Wars. So hope for peace, but prepare for war. Welcome back, MTG Burgeoning community, and welcome YouTube viewers. If you wish to join the former while being presently the latter, click that subscribe button now, because today on Build a Deck Tuesday, we are going to complete our spell list of Riku of Two Reflections. All right, so welcome back, community. We got Burgeoning here, and it's Build a Deck Tuesday, and today we are going to finish off the spells for our Riku of Two Reflections deck. Now, we're several videos into this current series, so you can click on any of the links below to bring you up to speed to see exactly what we've already put into this deck and the lengthy, detailed descriptions as to why we chose those particular spells. So a quick review of what's already in the deck before we install the last of our spells. All right, so we've got Earthcraft, Tooth and Nail, Rite of Replication, Doubling Season, Warp World, Genesis Wave, Sneak Attack, Intuition, Snapcaster Mage, Skull Clamp, Druid's Repository, Exploration, Avenger of Zendikar, Phylath, World Sculptor, Chancellor of the Forge, Deranged Hermit, Deep Forest Hermit, Siege Gang Commander, Hornet Queen, Mere Battlesphere, Dragon Lair Spider, Dragon Broodmother, Omnath, Locus of Rage, Rampaging Baloths, Wood Elves, Farhaven Elf, Springbloom Druid, Elvish Rejuvenator, Risen Reef, Coiling Oracle, Llanowar Visionary, Thibblethip the Lost, Icefang Coatl, Wall of Blossoms, Growth Spiral, Manamorphose, Temporal Mastery, Court of Calling, Comet Storm, Mystical Tutor, Urabrask the Hidden, Anger, Factor Fiction, Mystic Confluence, Eternal Witness, Regrowth, Genesis, and Spark Double. And this next subset of cards will complete all of the spells in our deck, and the majority of the last of these cards are ramp spells and removal spells. And it's a good thing, because for the ramp purposes of this deck, Riku is mana hungry. It means a CMC of 5, and we need to have the available mana to copy our instant and sorcery spells and to copy those non-token creatures when they enter our battlefield. So we've got a bunch of ramp, we've got some removal, and towards the end of this video, a few additions that I think will make this deck even stronger than the cards that are already in it. So let's get started with our ramp, and let's just throw out a Mana Crypt right away. Okay, completely broken. We know what this does, as long as you don't, lose the flip 10, 11 times, which, if you remember the kitchen table series when we've previewed and talked about the Is It Coin Flip deck, it's a possibility. Yeah, Rails Eric. Okay, so cost 0, taps for a couple colorless. We know what the Mana Crypt is. And we got Soul Ring, of course. Best artifact in our format. And we have an Arcane Signet. Tap for 1 mana of any color in our commander's color identity. And we have a Sky Shroud Claim. 3 and a green. Search our library for up to 2 forest cards and put them into play. Notice it's forest cards and not basic forests. So we can fetch out our shock lands, get them into play, and if needed, pay the 2 life for each shock land and have them come into play untapped. All right, so let's talk about some card advantage spells. And here we have Heuristic Study, and everyone knows if you're going to pay for one, if you're going to pay 1 for that, and if you're not going to pay 1 for that, well, we're drawing a card. And we also have included a copy of Fabricate for 2 and a blue. We search our library for an artifact card, we reveal it, and we put it into our hand. Now, I will admittedly, I had gone back and forth between Trinket Mage and Tribute Mage as a way in which to fetch up our artifacts. And with some of the artifacts costing 2, such as Skull Clamp and the Arcane Signet, but then the Trinket Mage saying 1 or less, being Soul Ring or Mana Crypt. I'm sorry, Skull Clamp costs 1. No, Skull Clamp does not cost 2. Skull Clamp costs 1. I misspoke. That's just 1. That was just a mistake. Skull Clamp is 1. That would be tutored up by the Trinket Mage. That I misspoke there, so I know. I'm sorry. You can light me up in the comments for it, but no, that was just a misspeaking on my part. So went back and forth between those 2 creature spells, and then finally decided to just eschew both of them to include Fabricate, because Fabricate can bring any artifact we need, not anything that's CMC specific. And that also includes an artifact that we can, well, we'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of this video. So Fabricate is in, Tribute and Trinket Mage are out. All right, so that's our ramp and our card advantage. So now let's get to some removal. Yep, this is a blue spell, folks. Pongify. 1 blue, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Yeah, I feel the exact same way. The monkey, or whatever that thing is, ape creature token, hey, we'll give that to our opponents all day long to destroy target creature for 1 blue mana. Seriously, 1 blue mana. And we add a blue and a red with Riku, and we're doing that twice. As if that spell wasn't good enough from Future Sight, they kind of did the same thing in Gatecrash with Rapid Hybridization. Again, blue instant, destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated. Instead of giving the controller of that creature a 3/3 green ape creature token, the creature's controller gets a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token in the play. We don't care. 1 blue to destroy target creature, and you can get a little 3/3 token. We will take that every day of the week and twice on Friday Night Magic. All right, next up we have Vandal Blast. For a red, destroy target artifact we don't control. But let's be honest, folks, the overload is what's really, really nice about this spell. 4 and a red, and we destroy each artifact we don't control. Vandal Blast is a personalized Shatterstorm. Sticking with the overload mechanic, of course, if we're in blue, we're going to play it. Cyclonic Rift is in here. 1 in a blue, return target non-land permanent we control to its owner's hand. And although that may be beneficial at times, let's be honest, it's included in the deck for its 6 and blue overload cost, where we return each non-land permanent we don't control to their owner's hands. We're in blue. It's a massive, advantageous, quote-unquote, board wipe, and we're going to play it. Beast Within, 2 and a green, and we light up target permanent. And again, for some reason, we're just gifting our opponents these 3/3 creature tokens. That's okay. Any permanents going into the graveyard with Beast Within, and our opponent can have that green Beast Coat token. All right, and our last piece of removal, and it's a board wipe, and it's a Blasphemous Act. And we are never, ever going to pay 9 CMC for this spell. Blasphemous Act costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and it deals 13 damage to each creature. And honestly, why would we pay 9 CMC? Because there would be no creatures on the battlefield. That doesn't even make any sense. So for all intents and purposes, that Blasphemous Act is probably going to be costing us between 1 red and probably a 3 CMC, maybe a 4. All right, so we are down to our last 3 cards. We've got our commander, and we've got 96 of the 99. So let's preview our last 3 cards. I'm sorry, we got not 96 of our 99. We have the completed spell list, and then we're going to talk about the installation of our land base. All right, next card is Lightning Greaves. We had to protect Riku. He is key to our entire deck, and we want to make sure he doesn't get lit up each time he gets onto the graveyard. He's mana hungry, CMC of 5, so if we can get the Lightning Greaves in play, and we can equip it to him, give him haste, give him shroud. Shroud is much more important than haste here, and Lightning Greaves was one of those cards that Tribute Mage would have been able to tutor up, but instead we've got the Fabricate, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, next card up, and this card is perfect for this deck from a flavor standpoint. We have Mythos of Illuna, 2 and 2 blue. The sorcery from Ikoria, Layer of Behemoth, says we create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Okay, any target permanent, we create a token of it. If we spend red and green to cast the spell, instead we create a token that's a copy of that permanent, except the token has, whenever this permanent enters the battlefield, if it's a creature, it fights up to 1 target creature we don't control. So again, the second ability here is neutralize a little bit if the permanent we target is not a creature, because we're not going to target a planeswalker or an artifact, and it's not going to come into play and fight another creature. So if we do choose to have a creature targeted, if we do choose a creature to be targeted by Mythos of Illuna, we will have the ability to fight, and that's removal and the copy and the creation of a token creature. And if it's a copy of one of ours, we know that we're going to get some additional value, because nearly all of our creatures, when they enter the battlefield, they give us something in return. It should be noted, though, that if we were to copy Mythos of Illuna with Riku of 2 Reflections, we will get the second spell copied. We'll get the additional token. We'll get the additional copy of the target permanent, but we will not get the fight part of it, because we didn't use any mana. We didn't use the specific colored mana on the copy of the spell. So if we tap, red, green, and 2 blue to cast Mythos of Illuna, and then if we tap blue and red from Riku to copy Mythos of Illuna to create another token that's a copy of target permanent, if that is also a creature, it will not get the fight ability, because we did not spend any of that colored mana on the copied spell that Riku did. And it all comes down to the last spell of the deck. After this spell is added, all we do for next week's video is install our land base. We finish off the 99, and then we are ready for play test and gameplay. Last card, here it is, folks. Lithiform Engine. This should end up becoming one of the most powerful cards in all of Commander. And let's take a look at reason why. All right, so 4 casting costs, comes into play for 4. Tap 2, tap it, copy target activated or triggered ability we control. We may choose new targets for the copy. That's a better Strionic Resonator. Tap 3, tap Lithiform Engine, copy target instant or sorcery spell we control. We may choose new targets for the copy. So this is pretty similar to what Riku does up there for a red and a blue. We don't have to tap Riku for doing it, but we do for the Lithiform Engine. And then lastly, tap 4, tap the Lithiform Engine, copy target permanent spell we control. That's an artifact, that's an enchantment, that's a creature. Lithiform Engine is a card that can be included in any deck. I don't believe that there's a deck that this card would not make better, enhance, or strengthen. Some decks are just Spellslinger decks, where you're just trying to win with instant and sorcery attrition. Well, Lithiform Engine can copy those spells. There are entire deck archetypes in our format, centered around activated abilities, centered around triggered abilities. Planeswalkers, enter the battlefield triggers. Lithiform Engine strengthens that. And copying a target permanent spell, creatures, artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers. Planeswalkers wouldn't be a really good idea to do because they would just die right away. But still, maybe you have Mirror Galaxy in play. Folks, Lithiform Engine is going to be one of the most powerful cards that our format has seen in quite some time. And I attest to that because I don't believe there's a deck that card doesn't make better. And I am happy to include it as the last spell in this Riku of Two Reflections deck tech. And there you have it, folks. The spells are completed. All that's left is the installation of the land base. If you have any suggestions for any unorthodox utility lands that you'd like to see included in this build, leave suggestions in the comment section below or over on our tappedout.net page. This is MTG Burgeoning, folks. We are building Riku of Two Reflections, and it is looking good. All right, Burgeoning viewers, one quick note for you. A subscriber a day in October. If we hit 31 subscribers in 31 days, one lucky subscriber will walk away with the entire Modern Horizons art card series. Additionally, a comment a day. Any subscriber that leaves a comment in every video posted by MTG Burgeoning during the month of October will become eligible for the November Pack Wars. On November 1st, a list of all subscribers that left a comment on every MTG Burgeoning video during the month of October will be compiled, and from this list, one subscriber will be randomly chosen to participate in the November Pack Wars. So hope for peace, but prepare for war.